Do you believe that you can heal yourself? Too often we give our power away to something outside of ourselves, and rarely, if ever, trust and tap into our innate healing power and intuition. Everyone has this capability to heal in ways we never thought possible. It's your sovereign right to claim and have true health and lasting wellness. Now, here is the host of the Dr. Dolores Show, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in our amazing universe. And welcome to another episode of the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And I think I already said that. But anyway, it's time to get grounded, folks, because guess what? We're in the midst of the holiday season. Woohoo! Yes, and with that comes all the wonderful and delicious stuff, and also all of the stress and the chaos and all the stuff that's going on right now. So, our episode today is called Finding Your Peace in the Holiday Chaos. And I think this is so important because many of us have a tendency to be very ungrounded in our world. And when we are in stressful situations, it just seems to crank it up a little notch where we are even more ungrounded if we're already ungrounded. Do you understand that? I bet you don't, but we're going to talk more about that. So when we're ungrounded, it's as if we are, you know, not present in the moment. We are in our heads, like wandering around, thinking about, oh my God, I need to do this, I need to do that. You create this list of things you need to do. Oh, and you make up these stories to go with the list. It's like, oh, if this person would like this or would like that, or maybe they won't like this, or maybe they won't like me. It's just like we just go on, and that's just maddening. It's like we're in our heads so much of the time that being grounded in our bodies is really where our foundation needs to be, especially when we're going through chaotic situations. What happens is that if you look at things from an energetic perspective, when you're grounded, you're expansive. Okay. That means you're planted right here in the moment, but you're also over there and behind you and above you. You are right here, right now. When you're ungrounded, it's like a free for all, and you're in all this chaos. Okay. And it's like a whirling dervish, and you got a bunch of those happening in your world, and you're like, it's very overwhelming. And what happens with our energy field, it gets really constricted. So all these things that are kind of happening around you can't fit into this constriction. And that's how we cope with things. We constrict ourselves so we could try to cope with it. It's really kind of crazy making, because that's just not how it works. So I'm hoping that, in today's episode, we could really look at the whole thing around finding your peace in the holiday chaos. And it's really focusing on just becoming grounded within yourself so you can make the right choices and decisions for you, not people around you, not your spouse or your kids or your boss or anybody else on the external, but it's really coming from a sense of being grounded within yourself and knowing what the right steps are for you next. And that's the key piece to remember. So often we give our power away to something outside of ourselves, and that's what happens. It's just like that energetic groundedness where you're able to see and experience things without really getting attached and reactive, if I could say that in a way. Because when we start having an attachment to something, this is where we start making up stories about things, and stories that are fabricated in our mind about situations where they're not even true. And this contributes to the energetic chaos that you may be experiencing, but also contributes to collective consciousness as well, because all that goes into collective consciousness and you're contributing to a lot of chaos that's already there. So I feel that finding peace in the holiday chaos is a phrase that really kind of surmises the whole maintaining of tranquility amidst the hustle and bustle of the holiday season. And it acknowledges that while the holidays are often associated with joy and togetherness, sometimes there can be overstressful and overwhelming for a lot of people, especially if, we have high expectations of what the perfect holiday is. My gosh, it's just like perfect. What the hell is that? It's just like, that's like something we create and make up in our mind of what it should be like. And when in essence, it's not, we're just extremely disappointed. And that's just like building up expectations instead of just allowing yourself to be in the moment and the flow of what's happening. It's almost as if when we have high expectations, we're trying to control the situation. And you really don't want to be doing that because that's just no fun. It just takes the joy out of life, really. When we try to control things and make things happen, it's like, I think it's a setup for just a lot of disappointment and a lot of sadness. And it's not about creating that type of stuff. It's about learning how to be in the flow of life so that when we have those unexpected things, bumps in the road that we might label as bad situations, we are able to look at it from a different perspective and realize, oh my God, this was really disappointing and sad. And what's come out of that has just been beautiful and totally aligned with what I needed to do. I feel that when we get disappointed and we have high expectations about things, we are trying to control our life instead of allowing what the universe has in store for us. We are going through life with blinders on, thinking that we could figure out what's going to be the best way to do A, B, and C to get to X, Y, and Z. Yet the universe has a bigger perception and a bigger picture of what's happening that sometimes we're not privy to. And when we get out of our own way and just allow things to happen, even though we may label them as like not comfortable or uncomfortable, um, we're able to get to the other side of that. And it might take a while, but when you look back, once you're down the road some, you could look back and say, oh my God, that was probably the most worst thing that could have happened at that time. But in essence, it was the best thing that could have happened because of X, Y, and Z that's transpired. So I invite you to really look at your expectations and kind of put them into place. And it might be a stretch for some people to take a deep breath, and take a deep breath now, because I could feel your energy getting constricted as I share this stuff. But it's important to stay in your body, because when you're in your body, you're in the present moment. The other thing that comes up too for a lot of chaos around the holidays is the family dynamics. And let's face it, every family has their situations and issues and joys and triumphs, but also, other things that, people don't really enjoy. There's a lot of triggers that go on. There's a lot of issues and conflicts, and it seems like holidays really bring out the best and not so best in people. So those are other things that can cause more, holiday chaos as we go on. And then there's the financial stress. And we were just talking about this before we went live with the producers about, some of the things that we're doing for the holidays. And somebody mentioned that they decided they're not going to do gifts this year. And I think that's beautiful because it's about spending time with people that matter. And it's not about exchanging gifts. It's about the gift of your presence is more than enough gifts because, let's face it, it's a financial obligation. And sometimes people go crazy with overspending, and then they end up having a lot of financial stress because of that. And, a lot of times there's time constraints too, where, this adds more to the pot. Everybody thinks that we need to be doing this, that, and the other during the holidays and, the whole agenda thing. It's just like, why do we focus so much about the holidays and doing so much? Why don't we spread it out throughout the year so we can enjoy these things throughout the year and not be uber stressed out, in 2 months instead of like the remaining 10 months? I always love the idea that, the holiday parties, why not extend them to, through February and March after the holiday season, because usually there's a lull there. And I know one place one year that I was associated with, they decided to have their holiday party in February, which I thought was brilliant because, it took the pressure off of having to, an obligation to have to go to different things, which just causes an unbalance in your life. And, it's a stress type of situation where you're just constantly moving and going from, it's almost like you're going through the motions. And when you're able to really be present and very right here, right now, in the moment, it's a huge, it's different. It's a different experience. You're fully present. You're experiencing the moment right here, right now, instead of playing whack-a-mole and running to different events and showing up and, doing the cordialities and just leaving and going to the next event. It's crazy making when you look at it from a bigger perspective. And I ask the question, why do we do that? So, these are things that you can change yourself. And, what I know is this: how many times you've gone through the holidays and that week after, between Christmas and New Year's, or even after New Year's, so many people get sick. I'm not surprised because they're so stressed out, running around doing things. They're not sleeping enough. They're not eating well. It's just you're exhausted, and your body is just wanting to rest because it's been on overdrive and overrun and over exhausted. So something to think about. The other thing that kind of comes to mind too is, you know, it when we talk about self-care and finding your peace in the holiday chaos, it's really about setting boundaries and being mindful and aware and self-care. And, most importantly, gratitude, especially when we feel like we're hitting bumps in the road and you're wondering, well, shit, what the hell? It's like, I thought I was on this track, and then everything else is just kind of falling apart. Maybe it's falling apart because it's falling together. Something to think about as well. So, we're getting ready to go on our first break, and we've been talking about finding your peace in the holiday chaos. And you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're on the Inspired Choices Network. So just stay tuned. And when we come back, we're going to talk about finding peace in the holiday chaos by prioritizing your self-care at this very precious of times. So stay tuned.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And our show topic today is finding your peace in the holiday chaos. And before break, we talked about, or I shared about, what kind of happens when we're in stress mode and how it really contributes to our overall health and wellness. And right now, we're going to talk more about some of the things that you could do to prioritize your self care, because it really all starts with us first. And I know that might be a big pill for some of our listeners to swallow, but it does. Everything resonates from us, and the essence of who we are resonates out into the world. And it's not about the other way around, that it happens outside and it resonates in. That's the illusion. What is the truth is that when we work on ourselves and raise our vibration and frequency, that just ultimately ripples out into away from our energy field into the world and the body. So we can affect change in our environment, believe it or not, by who we are and by the internal beingness of each one of us. Each one of us has amazing gifts and talents that are there just waiting for us to percolate and the essence of it be rippled out. So it's about us unwrapping the gifts within ourselves to allow that to happen. So part of that too is self-care. And we've been in a society in our world where self-care is sometimes something that you put on the back burner, or even sometimes it's not even on the back burner. It's like way down on the bottom of your list of things to do, or maybe it hasn't even made the list of things to do for everybody else inclusive of yourself. So, I'm speaking to the people who are mostly empaths, intuitives, highly sensitive people, but also people who have a tendency to have codependent type of um, characteristics, where they kind of take care of everybody else first, or even caretakers, and they put themselves last or not even on the list. So really focus on giving yourself the gift of the holidays of self-care, because this is where it really starts with. And when you're able to give from your point of self-care, where you fill up your cup and give from the overflow of that cup to others, you're going to be able to be more grounded, more balanced, and more in the present moment. And as you know, we move towards the holiday season, I think it's really important just to remember these things. A lot is going to happen quickly, and sometimes it could just you could get caught up in the flow of everything that's going on, the excitement, and but you know what, it comes sometimes with a cost, so it's about balancing it. So setting boundaries is huge. If you're not feeling like doing something, by all means please don't do it, because there's nothing more um misaligned than showing up for something that you're half baked about. It's like you're either 100%, oh yes, fully committed, or you're like wobbly or wonky, or it's a no. When you're feeling wonky like that, I invite you to make a decision not to go and to stay home, because maybe your intuition is kind of telling you maybe you need to stay home and do some self-nurturing, or make some hot cocoa and maybe read a book, or just hang low and just enjoy being by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we're also worried about, oh my God, there's so many time limits. And I said something about this earlier on the first segment about everybody tries to pack so much into 2 months. What about the other 10 months of the year? Can we spread it out a little bit? So I invite you to consider that. If you are hosting a party and you think that everybody needs to come for the holidays, why don't you host a party in March? And move the holiday to March and have that get together, because I feel that people will be more on purpose, and they won't have the rush or feeling that um you know they can't be fully present to enjoy that. The other thing that I've tried doing this year too is just really sitting with the events that are there for me to attend, and which ones really speak to my soul and which ones I kind of lean into. And some of them are, like you're not leaning into at all. It's like, no, I think I'll take a pass. No, that's a hard no. That's a definite yes. And this one's like wonky. It's like the wonky ones I usually don't commit to, or I commit not to go. Because I know for me energetically, I tap into the energy of what that is. And if I feel like it's something that I should be doing, I will do it. So it's like allowing your higher self to assist you with where your next steps are. Um, it's not about deciding, randomly that I'm not going to do this, that, and the other. It's really deciding purposefully. Okay. So when you're able to come within yourself and allow yourself to make the decisions from a very grounded space. We talked about being grounded, especially during the holidays, but grounded, almost every day. Every day we should be grounded, because when you're grounded and planted, you're present right now. But surprisingly, your energy field is so expansive that you have it's almost like you have sonar radar or something, and you could feel things that are happening in different parts of the room, as long as you decide not to allow them to come into your space to interfere with you. I know that was a mouthful. When we're able to sit from that perspective and allow, it's almost like having a coffee or a tea with aspects of yourself to decide, okay, what's the next thing that I show me my next steps. That's what I usually say when I sit, and I'm sometimes in a real pickle, because I think I need to figure out how what's next or whatever. And it's like when I sit in that situation where I am in a pickle, I just say to my higher self, okay, show me my next steps. And usually I will get an insight, okay, go in this direction. So I invite you to start having that relationship with yourself so you could trust your inner wisdom and allow that inner wisdom to have an impact in where you're going, even not just, any time of the year, but yes, every time of the year, especially during the holidays. Also, there's a big thing now too. We're so digitally oriented in our world. Who would ever, think that 30 years ago, none of this stuff existed. It's crazy making because we're in a whole different world right now. So it's about disconnecting sometimes from, our digital world and maybe have a digital detox. I mean, that could be a real cool thing. Just, make sure your phone is not attached to your hip. Just put it in another room and just sit and be and maybe read a regular book, not a digital book but a regular book, or do a craft or do some type of mindful activity that's going to allow you to get into your physical body, that's going to help you stay more grounded and centered as well. So, the other thing that is important, I think, that you need to remember when you practice self-care is the mindful activity aspect. And I'm a big mindful activity person. I feel that that is the gateway that allows us to be in our physical bodies so we could be in the present moment. And, mindful activity, and I've said this numerous times over my shows, is that it's anything that allows you to lose all time and place of time. It We've all had those moments where maybe you're doing a project or reading a book, or it's like you get lost, so lost in it, you don't have any, 4 hours has gone by and it seems like 5 minutes. That is what the definition of a mindful activity is. So I invite you to do those type of things, maybe doing crafting. And, if you have this feeling that, oh, this is going to be so daunting and stuff like that, no, it's not. It's time to take a deep breath and take a step and lean into it and just take a baby step. If mindful activity is like a new thing to you, look at your hobbies. If you have hobbies, start doing crafting, start gardening, start going for a walk in nature. Be around your favorite pets or your people, because that's timelessness too. I know we've all had friends and relationships where you could sit and chat with them, hours go by and it seems like it's only been 15 minutes, and it's like you lose all sense of time and place. This is the definition of being in the present moment and in your body. So, the mindful activity is huge. um Make sure that you get enough of rest, because sometimes, we rob ourselves of that because we think, oh, we could sleep later. Well, no, you need restful sleep, because that's how your body regroups and recalibrates and processes sometimes, and it's essential. So 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night is something to aim for. Maybe there's times where you want to sleep more than that. Please allow yourself to do so. You may not be physically sick. It's just that your body's trying to recalibrate itself to integrate higher frequencies. This happens quite a bit. Part of ascension symptoms. We did a show about that in the recent past. You might want to go check that out. And, you know, eh, quality time. It's not quantity, it's quality. Look at who you want to spend time with. And as far as limiting your social obligations, definitely do that, but see if you could spread them out throughout the year instead of just piling them up, stockpiling them for the holidays. That's a good one, stockpiling. Anyway, I crack myself up sometimes. Anyway, um, and just manage your stress in any way that you can. The other thing I'm going to tell you is smile more. When you smile, it's just like you're not taking yourself seriously. And I think many of us take ourselves way too seriously. So On that note, we're getting ready to go on another break, and you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And when we come back, we're going to kind of tie things together and give you like a guided meditation so you could actually ground yourself more, so you could find your peace in the illusion of holiday chaos. So stay tuned and see you on the other side.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And I'm just going to do a plug right now for a program that I have launched, and it is called I'm Awake, Now What? And we offer weekly Zoom calls and different topics that are going to help you on your spiritual awakening. And many of us have gone through an awakening, and sometimes when that happens, we just feel lost, and maybe we feel like we don't have a reference point or maybe the manual book on how to maneuver through this. I always used to wonder where my manual was when I was going through all this stuff, because it could be daunting and could be scary, and it could be also supportive too when you're surrounded by the right people who've been on this journey for a long time. Our goal is to give you guidance, give you tools, give you resources, and also community. So go check this out. It's if you go to my website, drdoloresfazzino.com, and go to I'm Awake Now What, and just click on that, you'll get more information. We would love to have you, and we really want to embrace the world, but also to help a lot of people to live their best lives with what we have to offer. So, prior to our break, we were talking about finding your peace in the holiday chaos and how sometimes many of us get unraveled during this time, and how we can allow ourselves to be in the present moment centered and grounded so that we can make the best out of what is happening externally during the holiday season and do it on our terms. So, what does that sound like? And I think it sounds like a great idea. And so I'm put together a meditation for you, and it's called the 6 Minute Holiday De-Stress Meditation. So I just invite you to just settle in and get ready to go for a little exploration. So just find a comfortable position. You could either sit or lie down, whatever you choose to do, just know that that's okay. And just I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. And just take a deep breath in through your nose and just hold it for a moment and exhale slowly through your mouth like this. And just repeat this deep breathing 2 more times, allowing your body to relax a little more with each exhale. Now imagine roots extending from your feet or the base of your spine, connecting you deeply to the earth. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more grounded, more stable, and more present, and more rooted into the ground. And if thoughts arise, acknowledge them gently, then let them drift away like leaves on a stream. Now bring your attention to the top of your head. On your inhale, imagine a warm light entering your body, relaxing every muscle it touches. As you exhale, feel any tension or stress leaving your body. Now slowly move your focus down your body. Relax your forehead, eyes, and jaw. Soften your neck and shoulders. And let your chest and belly loosen. Release any tightness in your legs down to your feet. Picture a soft golden light surrounding your body, a light that represents calm, peace, and joy. Imagine this light expanding with each inhale, filling your body and radiating outward. With each exhale, let go of any remaining tension or worry. Just feel the deliciousness of this energy and experience your feeling. And reflect on one thing you're grateful for in this very moment. It could be your breath, a loved one, or the chance to pause and reset. Let this gratitude fill your heart, bringing warmth and a sense of peace. So silently or aloud, say to yourself, I am calm, centered, and grounded. I carry this peace with me throughout the day. Take one final breath in, and as you exhale, slowly open your eyes or return your awareness to the present moment. Just remember you could repeat this quick meditation as often as needed during the holiday season to create more moments of calm amidst the chaos. And thank you for taking the time to meditate and reflect. And I hope this meditation has provided you with a moment of peace and relaxation, something that is so essential, not just during the holidays, but every day. So as we sit in the silence, as you come back, just allow yourself to experience that quiet inner peace in presence of being in the present moment. So we're going to segue to our next break already. And you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're talking about finding your peace in the holiday chaos. So stay tuned and we'll wrap it up after this next break and share a bit more. See you on the other side.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we've been talking about finding your peace in the holiday chaos because the holidays are amongst us. And sometimes it could be dauntingly overwhelming. So, what's a person to do? We talked a lot about this in our episode today. We talked about um, how sometimes we have a tendency to overcommit to things and do things we don't want to do, the importance of self-care, particularly boundaries and learning how to say no, but also, nurturing ourselves and putting ourselves first so we could be the best version of who we are when we're around others. And we also talked about, why is it we have everything that happens around the holiday season compacted into like a 6 week to 2 month period of time, and then the other 10 months of the year it's just like, well, now what do we do? Spread it out. It's just like, why do we have to do these things and condense it at one time of the year where it just stresses everybody else out and stresses ourselves out, and we have to play with this and then deal with it. Let's just spread it out throughout the year. I think we should do something different. So anyway, some of the takeaways from today's episode are this: the holiday chaos is manageable. I think the key to surviving and thriving during the holiday season is simplifying, setting boundaries, and prioritizing self care. When we put ourselves first, we are able to show up as our best version of ourselves for other people. And what a great gift that would be to have that presence for other people. Um, Enjoy the holidays season without losing yourself in the process. That's key. Awareness is a huge first step, and awareness is recognizing the factors that contribute to stress. Sometimes it's family and family dynamics, financial pressures, unrealistic expectations, or the need for everything to be perfect. God help us. Um, and just allow you to address what's going on with intention. I think that's the key right there. When you're aware, this is when you can make a different choice. When you're unconscious and not aware, it's just like a free for all. Remember that small actions have big impacts. The mindfulness, being grateful, and scheduled rest can actually enhance and transform you through your holiday season and any other time of the year. It's not just about the holidays. What I'm sharing with you is something that you may want to adapt throughout your year. And, remember, you deserve peace. Taking moments to ground yourself, whether it's the 6 minute meditation, a walk, or quiet reflection, it's not selfish, it's a necessity. This is called self care and putting yourself first. So I just want to add some parting words here because I feel this is really important as we are approaching the holiday season. Remember that this season is not about perfection, it's about connection with others and with yourself. Okay? Give yourself the gift of connection with yourself. You are the anchor amidst the hustle and bustle, and your well being matters. When you're the anchor, you could ground yourself and you could be fully present and you make the right decisions for yourself. By creating more joy for by creating more space for joy. You're going to create more joy anyway. Rest and mindfulness. You make the holidays more meaningful for everyone around you and yourself. I want to say yourself and everybody around you. Put yourself first. Remember, the holidays are meant to be a time of joy and connection. That's what it is, joy. And allow that joy and connection to radiate from you, not out of obligation, not out of shame or guilt, but for the genuineness and the authenticity of who you are. I want to leave you with a quote because I feel that Anne Lamott said it all when she said this. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. So during the holiday chaos that's happening external, create more of the peace on earth within yourself by unplugging for those few minutes. Okay. Unplug digitally, unplug from your world. If you have to be a recluse for a few minutes or a few hours or maybe a day or two, by all means do it. It'll be refreshing and rejuvenating for you. Don't do it when you are forced to do it, like when you're sick. Let's do it before we actually get sick, stressed out, and we get sick. Okay. So take the time to unplug when you need it. The best gift you can give to others is a calm and present version of yourself. Touche. Let's really focus on showing up as the best version of who we are for everybody in our lives. And that means we need to take care of ourselves and lead by example, because that essence will radiate out from us to the world. And, just thank you. Thank you for the time, for taking the time to explore ways to navigate holiday chaos and nurture your peace. May this season bring you the calm, clarity, and moments of joy that are truly your birthright. So, next week, we're talking about more self care, but we're calling it festive self care. So, I'm just going to read a little bit about the preliminary stuff here. The holiday season is a time for joy, love, and celebration. But with all the hustle and bustle, it's easy to get caught up in the stress and forget to take care of ourselves. In our next episode on the Dr. Dolores Show, we'll explore the practical tips and strategy for festive self care. And yes, we need to give that gift to ourselves. So just remember that whether you're a seasoned pro at the holiday self care or a newbie, this episode's going to be for you. So I invite you to come and join us. I also invite you to go to my website and get the free download. It's a guided meditation being in the present moment, which is a short 5 to 6 minute meditation that gives you the experience of being grounded in the present moment. We ground in multiple dimensions, and you could actually feel that essence in your body. And this is what it means to be in your body and in the present moment. So, and also, if I could support you in any way, I coach people, I mentor people. So just reach out to me. You could go to my website, drdoloresfazzino.com, and I'd be more than happy to do a discovery call with you. So, anyway, wishing you a beautiful holiday season full of love, light, and groundedness, and beautiful self care. So, take care, be well, and see you next week. Bye now.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores returns Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and create your best life. You are worth it.